It appears there's no torch left for me.
But you're the fireman. You get to blow them out.
Is it hot in here, or is it just me? Taking a look at another G.I. Joe classified figure. This is one I've been really excited for. Gabriel Kelly was one of my favorite G.I. Joes growing up as a kid. I had the original one in 1985. And Classified has just put out their own barbecue figure. He's actually referred to as Gabriel Barbecue Kelly on the box. Probably lost the rights to the trademark on barbecue, but that's a nice way around it. Barbecue is a pretty fun-loving guy. His accent is a lot of fun to imitate on the show. The Viper, where's the fire? But make no mistake, he is a true hero, a real hero. He is a representation of real heroes all around the world who don't just help people in need, but they run into the fire in order to help them. And that's incredible courage, and I just want to give a tip of the hat and pay my respects to all the firefighters worldwide. I know Micah worked as a firefighter EMT in his younger days. I also want to give a shout out to Chucky. Hope you're doing great out there. And all the other firefighters. You're in my thoughts and my prayers for you to come home safe every single day, to your families, and to the firefighters that did not make it home. We honor your memories. Sometimes a figure looks great in the picture, and then you get it in hand and you go, oh, that's not that great. Sometimes it doesn't look good in a picture, and then you get it in a hand and it looks way better in person. And sometimes option 3, which is this guy. Picture looks fantastic. Figure looks fantastic. He's absolutely perfect. 6-inch version of what the 85 figure should look like. Comes with a couple of accessories. Not the fire. This is actually something I picked up some years back from eBay. It's action figure fire accessory, and it's never really looked quite right with any figure. I thought I might use it with like Inferno or Masterpiece Inferno from Transformers. It doesn't quite look right there. I've had it with some Inhumanoids, Metlar. Looks okay there, but putting this guy in front of this action figure fire effect, it's perfect. It goes better with it than any other figure I've ever tried. And really nice thing about that is you can even sort of pose the fire, move it around and stuff, but really have it engulfing him, which is what being a firefighter is all about. It's running through the fire, not letting it stop you. So, yeah, that just looks... I have just so much respect and appreciation for firefighters that, you know, in all honesty, that doesn't just look cool to me. That kind of tugs on the heartstrings. Because it's not just Gabriel Kelly. It's not just a G.I. Joe. It's a really wonderful tribute to firefighters. And I don't really have anything like this. I mean, I've got a barbecue figure, I've got Inferno from Cops, but this quick little pose that I've done right here really sums up the courage and bravery of firefighters to me. Let's take a look at the accessories it comes with. It doesn't come with that many, which I like. Lots of accessories is nice, but less is more, and that's especially the case with G.I. Joe. Remember back in the day, original barbecue came with a helmet, a hose, a water gun, backpack, and an axe. And that's pretty much what they've done here. Get an extra axe. So you've got a giant one and a smaller one, and they can both be stored on the back. I'm guessing there's like a number of different ways you can store it on there. The backpack has a hose which connects to the water gun, and the one issue with that is as you move the gun around, if you're putting it in the holster, and how cool is that to be able to do that, As you do that, the backpack will come loose. Don't think that happens with real firefighters. So that's just because of how stiff the hose material is that it's knocking it loose. But you know what I always say, oh well. And there's a larger axe, and thanks to the added articulation of these figures, I really appreciate about this barbecue figure is that you can store the gun. Don't have to have it just hanging loose. Man, that is really bright green on the front tank here. The air tank almost feels like it's lit up. It's so bright compared to everything else. Let's see if he's going to be able to double hand the axe. He kind of gets in his way a little bit because of this, whatever this is, part of the outfit. But I think there should be enough. Yep, there's enough range. I mean, it's mostly just holding in front of him, so you're not going to be able to get his arms up to the side with a lot of range, but that is such a great accessory with him. And again, you can bring this around. This fire is actually especially nice since these classified figures, as of yet, have not included stands. So that's one way to prop him up without him falling down. And it looks like there is another spot to store an axe, so that's probably where this one goes. A smaller hand axe stored on that leg, and then the larger one can be stored on the backpack. In terms of the water gun, the Masterpiece Inferno that came out for Transformers a couple of years back had a water squirting effect to it, and I was hoping it would be compatible with this. Unfortunately, it does not work with the nozzle. There's a tiny little hole on the end right there on the water gun, and this water effect with Inferno, or a KO Inferno, it's a really nice looking water effect, but the this little post right here is far too big to plug into the small hole on that. And kind of get the idea of what it would look like if you can get them to work with each other. But if you want these two pieces to work together, you're gonna have to drill a bigger hole in there, or just bust that post right out in order to put out the fire. Or you can just do good old-fashioned Kenner style pretending. Unfortunately, the helmet is not removable. The whole head is, but it's hollowed out enough that you could pretty much use it as a helmet if you wanted to just have him hold the helmet under his arm like that. And I've seen people use the Pyro head from Marvel Legends, since it's a red head like Barbecue was. So if you wanted him unhelmeted, you could just have him hold the helmet under his arm. But I think the this figure is at its best suited up, so that's why it doesn't really bug me all that much that he's I mean, he should, at this scale, he should have a removable helmet, but just the fact that more so than most helmeted Joes, this guy is going to be wearing his helmet usually. It's a little easier to let that slide. Really nice pivot in the hand too. And yeah, the other one has it as well. Almost seems like it's about to pop out, but nice, that extra little range for the water gun. And a side-by-side with the original 85 Barbecue. Man, they got it right. I mean, this is proof right here why mess with a good thing? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm actually surprised at how close the colors are, because Barbecue is a dark orange, and they've matched it almost perfectly. The gray too, it's a dark gray. The helmet is bang on. The axe is a little more, I guess, modernized. It's almost like, I don't know if I've ever seen a real axe look like that. It's like a Nerf axe or something. Nerfized, if that's a term. It's just more of a traditional axe. Even the smaller hand axe has a little stank on it, a little attitude on it, rather than just the old-fashioned traditional axe. And they've carried over the straps on his legs. This one has a different function. There's some kind of tech on it, whereas it's meant for holding the axe on the newer version, but still, it's that aesthetic has been carried over. He's got a little bit more gear on his chest here than the original. It's actually kind of interesting to go into the finer details and see what has changed and what hasn't. A little pouch there has been carried over on the arm. He's got like forearm protectors and dark gray gloves. The original one didn't have. None of that really matters to me. The major important things about barbecue are the helmet, which looks exactly the same, just slightly more detail. But the key components are back, like the big tank on the chest is back there. This kind of shoulder armor, neck protector is there. The boots are similar small water gun, and the original one could attach to the leg, so by having a holster there, that is very much like the original one. And the backpack tank, it's still 3 tanks, biggest one in the middle, and alongside a couple more of my favorite pop culture firefighters. We've got Snout Spout, NECA version from Masters of the Universe. There's Red Alert and Inferno from Transformers. And Inferno, because Hasbro really liked to reuse those names. Inferno from Cops, the Cops firefighter. Great figure. I think one of the best G.I. Joe classified figures I've seen yet. And I think that's mainly because they just haven't messed with the original design. I love the original barbecue, but I wouldn't call him one of the best sculpts of the line. It's more about what he represents. And that's exactly what they've done with this one, without getting too fancy or technical and loading him up with newfangled gimmicks. They just made him a really cool looking firefighter. And firefighters are already cool enough. They don't need a whole bunch of Nerf tech and other complicated looking stuff. It's almost the simpler the better in terms of the outfit, because it's more about striking a heroic looking pose and just having him hold it like that. The other G.I. Joe classified figures, I have them just basically standing there, arms straight at their sides and at the ready, but this guy to me looks like he needs to have a action pose. Really, really nice looking figure. Thanks again to Micah for that one. Really appreciate that one, and even more special knowing your history with firefighters. So that's a very special little piece of my collection. Not just a cool old favorite character, but something from a person who has actually helped fight fires and help those who fight fires. Hope you found this review useful. If you did, feel free to share, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you to the Patreon tribe for supporting the channel, and thank you to all the channel members for hitting the join button on there as well. And until next time, Nerdmas Day.